Good morning and welcome to Skateboarding Mastery. So personally for me, there are 3 tricks on the mini ramp I love, the Holy Trinity. No stall reverts, full cab rocks or 360 rocks, whatever you want to call them. And today's trick, backside rock and rolls. All right, so what is a backside rock and roll? It's a combination of a rock fakie plus a kick turn backside. So you go up the ramp, your front trucks go over the coping, you turn backside 180 degrees, you go back in the ramp. And just like with the rock fakie, there are 3 variations of this. The easy beginner one where you just go up, lift the trucks, front trucks up over the coping like this. You go back in, 180 kick turn backside. Then the middle evolution of the trick where you actually go up and you rock a little bit and then you turn back in. Or the third one, just like with the rock fakie, you go on top of the deck, you're really deep in, and then turning back, backside 180. All right, so there are 2 tips for the rock and roll. Number 1, just like with the rock fakie, you don't want to be over the deck, you don't want to be here. Your body still has to be in the ramp. Your trucks and your front foot are the only ones that are over the coping. And tip 2, doesn't matter which level of the rock and roll we're talking about, but it's going to make this trick super easy and super consistent if you can learn that you have to turn your head and shoulders before your front trucks are over the coping. So if you're over the coping and then you start to turn, it's going to be more of a throwing motion, and most likely what's going to happen, you're going to just throw your board away, like somewhere in the 90 degrees area. So when you're going up and right around this area, but just before you reach the coping, your head and shoulders, you already are fully turned to the position where you want to go. That's going to make this trick super consistent and super easy. I'll show you a couple of examples. I did zoom out the camera, so hopefully you can see my whole body when I'm doing rock and rolls here, so you can see how my head and shoulders are turning before I'm over the coping. So let's do some rock and rolls. And we'll start with the beginner-friendly rock and roll. All right, so 1 pump here, let's go. And just like with the kick turn, you can do a rock and roll and turn 90 degrees and run off if you don't feel comfortable fully committing yet. This is what I mean. That's it, and you're safe. However, I would not recommend doing, like we talked in the kick turns, the 90-90. That's going to be way harder in the rock and roll. Better just to like run away or fully commit to the 180 turn. Hey, it's me, next day. There's actually one more tip I can give you about rock and rolls. Here it is. When you're going up the coping and if you have trouble turning your head and shoulders, what helps is turning your arm and pointing where you want to go. That helps if there's trouble. So when you're almost at the coping, you start turning your arm and pointing where you want to go out, and it will naturally twist your body into position where rock and roll is going to be easier. I'll show you a couple of examples. Helps. All right, thank you so much for watching Skateboarding Mastery, the backside rock and roll, a fun and cool looking trick. I'm sure you'll get the hang of it real quick. As always, if you have questions, write them in the comments. I'll answer all of them, and I'll see you in the next episode. See ya.